All right, guys, we are live here on the Independent Investor channel. My name is Ryan. For you guys that are new to the channel, I'd like to welcome everybody. We roll this product out every single Friday at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I've had a ton of people making their way into the channel here. Obviously, with the stock market being in the buy it mode, I mean, honestly, I have people asking me, I don't think it matters anymore. Should I buy peanut butter, the chunky kind? Yeah, just buy it. You'll make money. Certainly, it's been one for the record. The stock market has continued its upward trajectory. It's been quite nice. Absolutely. I'm going to give you some of the disciplines in tonight's live stream. Absolutely. But I absolutely appreciate those testimonials of some folks coming on and telling me, hey, look, man, I've got to my first 10,000 bucks. I wouldn't have done it without you. The latter part of it, you can leave off. Honestly, I don't make this thing more than it needs to be. I really don't. I think with a little bit of discipline, I was just speaking to my good friend, junior stock investor, and his fiance, Ashley, behind the scenes here. And it's amazing to me talking to folks how they're getting excited about the prospects of investing. And I know it's very, very easy to look at this stock market and get excited about stock market investing, but I think it absolutely is beneficial. And I don't want to be the wet towel. Okay. I don't, but I'm going to tell you the truth. And I'm going to let you know that the stock market does not go up forever. Okay. I think we are in somewhat of a stock picker's market. Now, the passive aspect or the entryway to the stock market that I contend that a lot of new investors can enjoy and get their feet wet, okay, is the passive routine. The question becomes, do we want to be buying the passive market here at all-time highs? Really just kind of depends. Look, if you're stepping into the market with your first $500, I don't think it really matters. I really don't. I would take that posture all the way up to your first starting amount, $1,000, $1,500. Okay. This is real talk, guys. Okay. And when I talk about starting amount, there is somewhat of an acknowledgement that I expect on your end that if you're serious about a wealth building program, that you can kind of prove to yourself that you can pay yourself first. Okay. This is not mine. Tony Robbins coined it. At least that's where I got it. He's one of my favorites that I follow for motivational life coaching, etc. But a lot of this really comes down to discipline and a desire to do. That's really what it comes down to. And so you really need to ask yourself, in this video, we're going to, of course, do the portfolio reviews. Obviously, I had kind of a disappointing hiccup in Hyliion. I actually thought that it was kind of on the uptrend. I was able to supplement that with some swing trading profit this week on IPOE warrants as well. I've rolled those out, put 50% of house money into the actual underlying stock. I'm dealing with warrants a little bit different. I kind of learned my lesson. Fool me once, you typically don't fool me twice. And so with the switchback swing trading right before the holidays, that was a $10,000 bill put aside. I was able to put a $2,000 bill aside in swing trading in the IPOE, which is SoFi with his Chamath Palihapitiya's SPAC, which just came out this week. Exciting stuff, man. If I could envision the financial institutions to be what it is that they should be, look at IPOE, okay? Look at SoFi and look at what they're doing. It's really, really quite exciting. I saw JMac pop into the gallery, and I think Jason put out a video on it. I have not caught that offering, but certainly for awareness and putting that stuff out there, because sometimes I don't cover these things every day. So unfortunately, I was waiting for it to come public and I missed it by one day. So I missed a little bit of profit there. Nonetheless, we live to fight another day, and I caught a nice 27% increase just today. Sold at the right time, got a little touch lucky on the out of the warrants, and at the same time I bought the warrants, I bought the underlying stock at the same time, because I look at what's going on right now with switchback energy, and I look at the disparity between the warrants and the common shares. It's the same similar thing that kind of happened with Hyliion in that the warrants kind of hung out in the mid to upper 20s at its very, very peak, very briefly, and then resorted way, way back. So you got to be kind of careful a little bit with these. It's not for the faint of heart. and certainly not for the general audience as far as I'm concerned. But man alive, collectively speaking, going into 2021, I have earmarked some multiple options for you guys. The world is your oyster. It really is. And I made a comment on social media this week. I was a little pissed, to be honest with you. I'm so sick and tired of always always catering to those folks that don't want to put any effort into this program. It's so irritating. Look, either do or freaking don't do. You don't think Kyle with passive income investor has the success that he does because he doesn't pay attention? Do you honestly think that Matt Money doesn't have the success? And look at JMac and look at Hidden Freedom Investing as well, who's also in here. Dave, do you think any of these folks are rendering the success that they render by not paying attention to the stock market? So just some food for thought. With that, guys, I want to welcome everybody to the live stream tonight. I've got a jam-packed, fastest 60 minutes on YouTube. There's no doubt about that. I can't talk any faster than I possibly can talk. I can't. But by popular demand, I brought back the other intro. The other intro will be the outro from now on because somebody said that they could just sit and watch it all day. Lots to go over, freak. Where do we start? Where the heck do we start? Where do we start? What is the business? What is going on in the world right now? You're Ryan, got vaccinated today. I will give you my personal recommendation. If you have the means, please do so. And that's all I will say about that. Try to keep the political light, but I did what I needed to do for me. For me, it was more about the potential for engaging in some foreign travel later. Guys, I think that's going to be a condition of those things. It was not painful. It was just like getting a flu shot. I kind of feel like somebody punched me in the arm. And if I was going to rate myself on a scale of 0 to 100%, I would say the I2 right now is running at about 86%. All right. I feel like I have something foreign inside me, but that's all right. I'm still firing away. I'm ready to go for you guys. That's all I will say about that. But let's take a proactive posture on this deal. I kind of look at it like a fighter's perspective, and I'm like, I'm not going to let this bitch get me down. So it's my small contribution to that. And if you do have the means to do it, please get it done. Okay. It's super, super important because as of now, I hate to report to you guys that we are in fact losing this battle. We are. Okay. So let's stand up and fight like we always do, and we'll make it through and we'll come out of it like we always do as well. All right. We need to be proactive on that and always acknowledging what's going on here going into 2021. So there's a hell of a gallery in tonight. Really appreciate you guys making your way in. I hope you guys don't mind the shout outs. It was great that Junior was able to pop in with Ashley. I finally made the connection on who Ashley was. It's so funny, man, because social media being as shallow as that is, I can't really put a face to a name until I put the face with the name. But I got to try to keep this topic a little bit light, guys. I am, as usual, bare feet and in comfort clothes to deliver the live stream over YouTube. But why do I do that? In this particular offering, I kind of wanted to get into the dirt of what's working and kind of made a joke about the peanut butter tripping and falling into the stock market. Look, what the hell else can I say? It's a good time to be an investor. Okay. If you're involved in any capacity in the market, you're probably killing it. Okay. Great on you. And that's fabulous. I think, channels like mine sometimes go into somewhat of a lull. I'm mostly a passive investor, mostly a value investor. I do seek out some speculation, and I do seek out different wealth building initiatives in my life, that of which I'm going to go over a little bit tonight on really delivering some of the method to my madness and really talking through some of the disciplines that I deploy. Okay. And I do mean that wholeheartedly. I've broken it down into three categories. The first being savings, the second being investing, and the third being employment. Okay. Employment being that necessity. Okay. I chalk a lot of my success up to the employment that I have. Okay. And a lot of you guys that have been following the channel know that, look, I'm heavy advocate on seeking out whatever employment you can. If you can be an entrepreneur and light the world on fire, all the power, you'll get my blessing. You really will. I don't do that. Okay. This is about as close to entrepreneurship as I roll. But I contend YouTube, you still work for the man. Okay. So get over yourself a little bit. You still work for Google, at least until they stop paying me a paycheck. I will chalk it up as just that. Okay. But the different income streams that we've got coming on, those I would put a little bit further away from the necessity category. But here's the thing. If you're trying to approach a wealth building strategy for you, your family, your eventual kids, right? You need to make sure that you're hitting at least one of these categories. And the necessity category is that employment. Okay. Imagine if you didn't have that employment, and I know I've got some folks in the gallery here that have admitted to me that they're on some hard times right now. We need to fight, okay? And I'm not telling you something that I wouldn't do myself. We need to fight. We need to get back engaged, and we need to get back on the horse here and find some sort of employment. If you do have employment, there's always room for improvement. Find a little bit more surplus capital in the budget to put to work and seek out what I consider to be the other two categories, and that is luxury for investing. Okay. Investing is not something that you are entitled to do. You're not. And you're also not entitled to engage in investing and not put any effort into it. Sorry. That I will be the wet towel and throw the freaking red flag on you. All right. Again, I just pointed out a half a dozen channel creators in the group here that I celebrate success, man. I do. I mean, who's got an over and under on JMac for 100,000 subscribers this year? Who's got an over under on 100,000 for Kyle with passive income, right? We celebrate that level of success. If they get there, great. If they don't, no problem. We're all pushing the envelope to try to get somewhere. The idea is to understand that investing in and of itself requires you to have the other two aspects in line if you stand a fighting chance of engaging in investing and successfully making it a success for yourself. Okay. Really want you guys to kind of think about the conversation along those three tiers, because it's very, very important. Now, the spending aspect, in one word, I will sum up for you. This is really the method to my madness. Okay. I mean, let me just give you a page out of my weekly playbook. This week, I bought $10,000 worth of IPOE warrants. Okay. I bought a tank of gas, and that's about it. Yeah, I packed my lunch every day. I made Folgers coffee every single day. I went to work 5 days this week. I enjoyed every second of it. And the only thing that I bought for myself was the gas that went into my car to get me back and forth to work. Did not pay for parking. Why? Because I'm cheap. Okay. That just gives you some level of perspective. How many people out there can say, wow, I can throw down on the discipline piece, but also really throw it into sixth gear when it comes to the investing piece as well. So I'm not saying that you have to just put yourself on autopilot with any of these disciplines. You really need to be able to shift back and forth from each one of them, and also kind of go in depth on each of these disciplines in each of the respective categories to really make sure that you're immersing yourself in this craft. Okay. Don't be afraid to study up on. I was just telling Ashley before the live stream, when I was talking to Junior, and her said, I don't like the word budget. It somewhat implies that you're giving up things, right, for some other end. And Junior said, hold on a sec, man. I mean, you can't run a successful budget unless you're making the decision to put your money into assets buckets. You can't be too careful in life. Otherwise, you're not ever going to take any risk, and you're not ever going to render any type of success. So there is that healthy balance between putting good, sound, educated bets on the table. Okay. This is an investing channel. I always say many, many times, if you're coming on here to get motivated about investing, lovely. I can freaking do that. I can light the fire under your ass all day. But at the end of the day, at some point, you need to purchase an asset. Okay. At some point, you're going to have to embolden that assets bucket. All right. So just to give you guys kind of a segue where we're going tonight with the live stream, I obviously want to engage in the Q&A tonight. But as usual, I do roll out the totality of the portfolio progress. Okay. In the military, we have a saying called bluff. It is bottom line up front. Feel free to use it, abuse it, because I just think it's really, really cool. There is the bottom line up front. That should motivate you. To me, that's my digital cryptocurrency number. No, I'm just kidding. It's not all in Bitcoin. That is my, right now, it is my portfolio value, not net worth. Okay. If you're going to take some net worth and throw that into the equation, it is significantly higher than that with some of my other assets. But that's the total portfolio value. That in part is what we rolled out this week in the portfolio checks. With the Roth IRAs, et cetera, et cetera. And we continued to do that to really show that just throwing it on the heap, you build the number. Okay. If I went into the bank and said, hey, give me all 463, 871, they'd look at me silly, right? That is a pledge on what I've been able to grow over time. That's totally fine. And hopefully that motivates you guys to understand I was not given this money. I've said many, many times, the validation piece is important for people who tune in to the channel for the first time. And they're like, dang, man, wow, what an awesome trust fund baby we're sitting here listening to. Nope, that's not true at all, man. My $100,000 accounts that are up to 120 each a piece started with 1,500 16 years ago. Okay. So for you young couple that are sitting there, Junior, I know you're listen, I can see him smiling now at me. Yes. Now there it is. You know, it doesn't take that many years if you're just willing to take that jump and that start to really start accumulating those goals, right? That 1,500 turns into 10,000, the 10,000, maybe a couple years pass. I don't know. I don't remember the steps. I don't remember going from 10 to 25 vaguely. I remember maybe vaguely going from 25 to 50, 50 to 100. Now, I mean, I'm 30,000 away, 37, whatever it is. It doesn't even matter. You know, we're staring down $500,000 of portfolio value. Pretty impressive. Whatever. I didn't engage in this with a very, very specific set of goals in mind to miss my goals. So this is just kind of an indication of where we are on the path and not an end result by any means. This is where we are. All right. With the market in all-time highs, some of this has been conducive to a very, very lucrative market. Very lucrative. I mean, I dropped a $4,000 bill today, but the trading profit helped kind of negate some of that. And I was happy about that. I was able to leverage some of that house profit into some common shares. So I'm currently null and void of warrants right now, and I'm happy. I would just rather buy the stock outright. The one stock that I missed outright is Switchback. That's the one right now that I'm kind of chomping at the bit to see a bit of a pullback. Unfortunately, I just don't think we're going to get it. I don't. And you certainly don't want to deploy the whole, well, it happened with Hyliion, therefore it's going to happen with this. But I'm a little gun shy. I don't want to buy into this because I actually think the stock is fairly to overvalued right here. But we'll see. That's part of the fun to monitor the portfolio going forward. The options updates. The covered calls are going well. I've had to roll a significant amount of these. I don't think my strike price was that aggressive, to be honest with you. But the market has been so conducive to seeing stocks like CVS and Citigroup specifically. I mean, JP Morgan's almost trading like a penny stock right now. Everything's on fire. Everything is going up. Financials have got favor. Bank of America caught fire. I mean, what can I say? Even the crunchy peanut butter is going up. I don't know what else to say. It's an exciting time to be an investor. Don't lose your pants. Okay. It's not going to last forever. Sorry to tell you the market. I'll just leave it at that. All right. I'll let the next group who follow on with me talk about the market pulse and direction, etc. They know better than to forecast which direction the market's going anyway. I think really all of us in the community should take some pause and have a little fun with this thing, to be honest, because the market doesn't always do this. And when it does, hey, listen, you decided at some point to be an investor, not to always lose money, but to at some point make some money. We're just in a good wave right now. There's no doubt about it. So there's some of the cover calls. No cash secured puts as of now. I did have to unwind the CVS position. I wish I hadn't have done that. I wish I would have just rolled. I learned how to roll this week, so it's still a learning evolution for me. But drawing in some really good premium in the account here. And it's looking like most of those are really, I was able to push these to some strike prices that, knock on wood, shouldn't come close to getting called away. But I'm good on Raytheon. I'm good on Realty Income. I'm good on Pfizer, and I'm good on AT&T and Altria Group. I'm good on those. The remainders on the list, I did have to roll forward and buy back that premium and resell it. No big deal. We live to fight another day, baby. I did update the TSP here. That's how it shakes out. Want to pay particular attention to the PIP. I know there's some military folks in here. This was the root of the thorn of my side on the Facebook post that I got privy to and brought into this week. It just comes down to paying attention. You got to pay attention. If after 15 years of government service, you tell me that you've never logged into your TSP, I will feel sorry for you because I have a heart, but I can't really feel that sorry for you and that you failed to even do the very most simple thing. And that is log in and put a little effort into this program. All right. But the PIP at 17.33, that's pretty awesome. I'm happy with that. That's sleepy passive. I never touch it. All I do is fund this. This is a 10%. I'm looking to up that in 2021, get a little more aggressive. As we'll just take a second and we will just observe the power of Cathie Wood. Again, you guys can call me a turncoat if you will. These things are some powerful investing tools. They really are. They're powerful. And I'll be rolling out the update to this weekend, and an update to the M1 suite of portfolios. That'll round out the total, as well as a couple other things that I've got planned. I do have one additional promotional video coming through the channel. For anybody that's loyal and on the live stream, I don't expect you guys in the least to tune into that. If you do, great. If you click on it and give me a view, that's lovely. If not, no big deal. I understand some of the discontent with some of those products, but I make a pretty good paycheck for doing that. And it's one of the 10 income streams that I'm going to talk about in the latter part of the stream here tonight. So, hey, listen, take it with a grain of salt, watch it as an awareness piece. If you're not interested in it, go about your day and do your thing. Trust me, I'm not a bad guy. Okay. It's just, it helps me satisfy some of the acknowledgments or some of the bills that I have to pay on the channel to keep rolling out this message to you guys, and it helps support it. All right. Very cool. There's the sector specialty ETF. That's how it shook out. Not going to say a whole lot about that. $13,000 bill in there, doing just fine. Again, 100% passive in nature. There's the VGT I was talking about, Junior. You see that? That's the top end of this portfolio. So it goes 14%, 13, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, and down the line until you get to that's telecommunication, materials, and energy on the low end of this portfolio. So that's just how I choose to do my specialty ETFs. All right. That's hot. That's okay. That is one of the big ones there. I'll just let you guys review that. Pretty fairly well invested here. There's some reasons for that. When I talk about the float on the cash amount that I have, you guys need to understand, I'm not trying to time the market there. What I'm trying to do is raise cash so I can identify new opportunities. Okay. Some of those new opportunities are declared here. CrowdStrike is one of them. Alibaba is a new position within the last couple of weeks. I think I forecasted that on or talked about it on the last live stream. I'm quickly looking over the list here and seeing if there were any new additions. Yes. The common shares of IPOE, which is SoFi, that's in this portfolio, only 100. So I've got 300 in the taxable brokerage, and I have 100 shares in each of the Roths for a total of 500 shares of IPOE. Okay, that's just how it shakes out for Roth IRA number 2. Was it 100? Oh, well over 120, but we took that hiccup in Hyliion today. I'm not really sure I covered. JMac needs to get a hold of the new CFO and interview her. That would be a pretty hot interview, I think. I would really love to understand the work that was put in by Greg Van Devere, and now taking the reins. She has an incredible resume, and I think she's going to do some phenomenal things at Hyliion. That's just my opinion, but I think the pedigree that she's cut from is pretty impressive. If you haven't had a chance to look at her resume, it's incredible. All right. And then finally, the Roth number 1. Also fairly close to what I consider fully valued. No real crazy changes here. You guys might notice a few subtle changes here with the VBK. I wanted some growth exposure in here, so we added that. I've owned it before. I made a fortune. I don't see that changing into the future. I really don't. That's the Vanguard's growth, small cap. Okay, so no real huge changes here to note. There's the IPOE position there. So that's how the portfolios shake out, guys. I hope you appreciate that. I'm going to get to some questions here into the Q&A. And if I do have time, I did kind of touch on those things, but I will mention it now. I'm under 30 minutes, but this, honestly, guys, every time I look up at the clock and it seems like it's at minute 50 and I have like 10 minutes left because I just love this so much, man. I freaking do. I really, really love it. I love some of the comments that you guys would never be privy to that I get through the channel that are like, damn, Ryan, I freaking show up to your live stream and you always say something that kind of keeps me going or motivates me, or, hey, thanks for this or thanks for that. That really goes a long way with me, guys. I really appreciate that. You know, I work pretty hard at this gig and I enjoy the heck out of it. And if we can empower one investor at a time, by me sharing my story through the power of social media, then we're doing good, I think. But I went through and I thought about the 10 income streams that I have here. I'm just going to mention them for you guys. Number 1, the podcast. Number 2, YouTube. Number 3, Amazon affiliates. Number 4, M1 Finance affiliates. Number 5, Stock Rover affiliates. Number 6, the Viper Group, which I usually give a shameless plug for. I'm not going to do that right now. The sale's off. The next sale will be in the summer. I will not apologize. I've got 40 members in there, killing it. I am absolutely having a blast with the Zoom meetings. I advertised one 30-minute Zoom meeting. Every single one of them have gone about an hour and a half. I'm glad to do it just to provide that overabundance of value through my channel. And I couldn't be happier with the progress in the Viper Group. Probably turning out 3 times the value of what you could pay for the monthly membership. If you are interested in getting it in, just stand by for the next sale. I will run that out for probably one 30-day session this summer, and that will be it until the large sale in the holiday season again. That's the way I'm going to do that. I will not deviate from that. There's too much value to just be giving away that product free of charge. I cannot do that anymore. All right. The Viper Group, that's number 6. Number 7 are the promo videos. Those are fairly lucrative. Okay. Where some of these are just, $50, $100 here, there, etc. Pick up a little bit here. Boom. I get a little inject here. It's pretty wild. With these income streams. 8 and 9 are eBay and Craigslist. I can thank my wife for that. We sell stuff. We don't let crap sit around. And all that money goes right into the savings account. Number 10, I have blank because in the investment portfolio, all right, there's capital appreciation, there's dividend growth, which I find is so interesting. People are scoffing at dividend growth right now. I find that so interesting. I can't tell you if there's a better feeling in investing than getting the dividend payouts. I'm rendering about $10,000 a year off the portfolio. That's just what I render. I think Matt Money, I think the last update that I caught from Matt, he said that he was pretty close to $30,000 of renderings. That might have been his 2020 goal. That's serious passive income. That's money, let me tell you, and I don't mean to offend you, Matt. You're not working for that money. It's passive. Okay, very, very powerful. So you got the dividends, you got capital appreciation, you've got options premium. So within investing, you say, why invest, Ryan? I don't understand this. I don't understand why you invest. I'm telling you right out of my portfolio, the 1733 pip out of the TSP, the capital growth, the dividend growth investing, all of those things. I didn't even include interest. To hell with interest. That's why SoFi is here. Because his ideas about how to revolutionize what people really want out of financial services now and what they're getting. When was the last time you went to a physical bank? Yeah, it's a waste of my freaking time to go in there and have to fill out a deposit slip and have to argue with some lady who wants to be rude, who's being paid minimum wage behind the glass anyway. I don't have time for it. I get it. I can do everything that I need to do through social media, right? And that's kind of where SoFi is looking to really change the world. If they pull out a bank charter on this, man, that investment is going to be really, really good. I do not put out videos anymore. I've just taken a stance. We have folks in the community who provide that information to you guys. If you're interested in that information, tune into JMac Investing. He does a good job. You don't need me coming on and doing the same tired videos just like everybody else does on YouTube. I want to keep with my niche. And if somebody in our community is already providing a good product, then there it is. You can go catch the content there. But there's some really exciting stuff coming out right now, guys. It's really exciting. And the more you want to pay attention, the better off you'll be. The opportunity's there, guys. You gotta seize that. All right. So those are the 10 income streams that I was able to identify. Now, the income streams, in addition to the employment piece, all right, those are a little bit different. Not everybody's going to want to say, hey, I want to start the independent investor channel. How do I do it? I would say YouTube is saturated right now. I actually think I'm delivering my message, empowering message through the wrong conduit. I really do. That's why I enjoy the podcast. I really do. I can say what I want, say how I want it. It's clean. It's direct to consumer. I love it. YouTube's a little different. People are coming on and they're looking to be entertained. Look, I throw a peanut butter joke in every now and then, but I'm really not that freaking funny. Okay. Furthermore, if you come to my channel, I expect you to learn. Okay. I'm not going to force feed you this material. All right. I know where I'm going. If you'd like to follow, great. I'll lead. Okay. If you're going and you have something to say, I will follow. Okay. The whole idea is that we're progressing and pushing the momentum forward on this project. And we're empowering as many people as we can. The income gaps are separating, guys. Wake up and smell the coffee. Okay. If you want to be lazy your whole freaking life, don't atone to those crappy decisions your entire life later on in life. Especially don't come crying my way, because I did everything that I could possibly do to say, hey, wake up. It's time to wake up and get with the program. Okay. I don't care if you're 50. I don't care if you're 20. It's never, ever too late to become enlightened. Make it happen. All right. So that's really the lesson here. I do want to get into some of these comments, and I got a laundry list of them, man. I really do. I'm going to freaking scroll to the bottom. 33 minutes to get to comments. Very, very cool. I want to get some of these folks that I don't see every now and then. Where's Jeff Bezos investing his money from his stock sale from Amazon? I don't know. If somebody knows that, great. I typically take a little bit different contrarian view. I'd be more apt to put a Matt Money or a JMac Investing on a pedestal. Jeff Bezos is great. Elon Musk is great. They're all lovely. But I don't talk to those guys and I don't know them. And if I did meet them, I would say, hey, Jeff, what's going on, my friend? I really don't give a shit. I put regular people on more of a pedestal because I think we do so good of a job of putting these folks in the limelight enough. I do. Okay. So let's start to look within a little bit, and we'll start to empower our own programs. All right. And Adrian, over 100 and only 42 likes. That's all good. If you don't like the program, hit the thumbs down button for me. I would really appreciate that. I don't think maybe I need some thumbs down buttons to equal out. I don't know if it's like 3 likes for every dislike. I'm not sure what the algorithm says is good. I really don't care. What's cool about the Independent Investor channel is, first of all, it's you own it. Okay. It's all those people that come in and they're like, man, I've got $6,700 in my Roth IRA account, Ryan. And you motivated me to get there, man. I would have never got there if I didn't come onto your channel and you were like, you didn't make investing seem so distant. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's where the value is, man. But certainly, if you want to hit the thumbs up, do it. No problem. I've been doing this gig a while. I think it does help. I do the live stream free. I don't get paid for the live stream. There's no money in this. There's a few bucks. That's fine. But I don't do that. I do that for the engagement. My payment was getting on with Junior before the live stream and saying hi. That's my payment. It really is. It's promoting the Viper group because I know we're doing good things. It's highlighting what we're doing, updating you fine people on the progress of the channel, and I think it's interesting because I'm just a regular fella doing some extraordinary things, I might add. All right, because life is absolutely beautiful. All right, Ballpark Franks, fantastic. All right, there's my boy. I just told the Drive Margarita guy, my YouTube, never stop hustling. Yeah, I mean, I just couldn't pay you a bigger compliment to say that. I understand people tune in and they're like, wow, these are some pretty sizable portfolios. Yeah, that's impressive. What sometimes gets missed is the work behind the scene that goes into some of this stuff. That's all. And if it seems too distant for you to achieve those, reevaluate, because I'm here to tell you that you don't need a $750,000 portfolio like Matt's got to be considered successful in my eyes. You don't. Look, if Matt wants to know my expectations of him, they're far grander than where he's at right now, far grander. And in my eyes, if he fails to meet those, then I would be somewhat disappointed. But for a lot of people, $100,000 of wealth someday to help supplement whatever it is they're bringing home in a pension or a Social Security or whatever it may be. Okay. I don't think it costs a whole lot to live in this life. I think Maslow's hierarchy of needs, I think in the United States of America, the first 2 foundational pillars are already taken care of for you. Okay. It's not that difficult. You don't have to hunt to survive, guys. You can drive to freaking Walmart. Okay. The silver spoon is there, lodged quite nicely already for you. So all you kind of have to do is fall onto a little bit of motivation and say, man, alive, maybe if I just showed a little bit more personal initiative, maybe I could get ahead as well. And everybody's number is relative, really is. I don't, I'm pursuing a number, but my number is going to be a little different because I'm due other incomes when I retire from what is the absolute necessity. I said that at the top of the stream. For a lot of you guys that look at your job as, oh, it's just a punchline. It's a 9 to 5. Oh, you're wasting your time for the man. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody wants to tell you that you working sucks. Quit your job, whatever. I don't see that. I was asked this week, if you end up becoming a social media star, I don't even know what that means. If you end up making a ton of money on social media, would you quit your day job? I was like, no, I love what I do. I just signed up for 6 more years to the U.S. military just this week without a hesitation in the world. Why? Well, it puts me over retirement eligibility for first and foremost. And if any military in the gallery, they know exactly what that decision is all about. And some people would look at it and be like, God dang, 6 years, Ryan, Jesus, you're not really keeping your options over, are you, son? There's no perfect life. Okay. There was not even a decision point for me on what that necessity in my life means for me. Not really. It means everything for my family. survivor benefit. Something happens to me. My wife is taken care of. The legacy that it means for my kids, right? That stuff is real. The insurance, if they get sick, if they need a medical procedure, I can go on and on and on. So when I put it into that context, when I give you the method to my madness, it really doesn't seem so mad at all. And I just I find it funny how some people would say, if you made a few $1,000,000 doing your program, man alive, Ryan, why wouldn't you just walk away? I'd be like, what the hell am I going to do then? I'm going to still do social media for the rest of my life. That I really feel. When I talk about investing being a mental thing, how many of you guys spend your week? Remember I told you the 10,000 on the investments and I only bought gas this week? That's how weird I am. I'm weird. Let me give you another insight. Let me give you the dirt, okay? I'm already building my $2 million house in my head. I'm already planning. I say 2 million, that's going to be the value of it, but I'm already thinking and growing rich up here, okay? And that's pretty arrogant, Ryan, man. You just showed your portfolio values less than $500,000, man. You live in an apartment. How dare you prescribe to dreams? And I would kick back to you and say this. I don't think enough people prescribe to dreams. That honestly is what keeps me going, guys. It's that thought of something better. I think so many people get complacent. They do. And they get consumed by their complacency. All right. Insofar as that complacency starts to dominate the thought processes, and it prohibits you from engaging in that level of thought that I just proclaimed to you guys, that I do everything that I can possibly do to engage in as much as I possibly can, as much as I can. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, I'm okay with that. But we're going to die trying. We certainly are. Okay. And that's some of the motivational piece that I would wish upon any of you guys. You need to start thinking about this program and growing rich. Okay. The 10,000 I earmark and you're like, hey, I can get there. Fucking show me. Okay. Don't be an asshole. Just show me, because I don't value blah, 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 blah all the time. Freaking do it. Okay. Freaking do it. You can do it. Get a pen and a pad and do the general freaking math enough to where you can tell yourself what it'll take without even investing, what it'll take to save your ass up to 10 grand, right? Okay. Give yourself a fighting chance. You'll start down a mental line of successful thought as opposed to always being consumed by that, like, oh, woe is me. Oh, this, oh, that, oh, that. And I get it. Shit happens. I get it. I really do. Okay. Nobody ever promised you when you came out the chute that life was going to be perfect for you. Okay. So get over that promise of perfection. All right. Start making some of those perfection a reality for yourself. Okay. You'll be so much more glad that you did. If I could have earmarked at 20 where I could have been at 43, I would have said, you're freaking nuts. You're nuts. I'm so proud of where I am now. I'm even more proud of where I'm going. And I full well know that I'll probably never achieve 100% of my aspirations, but we're going to try. We are going to try. Absolutely. All right. Good stuff. John says, amen. Easy to get back up on your feet a little bit, my friend. Just, yeah, I mean, 2020 is going to be the year of fighting and get back on. I don't mean to probe. I don't, but that job aspect in some form or fashion is in fact the necessity piece to this. Okay. I'm not going to provide you an out on YouTube. If you just want to come on, if you want to retire at 30, great. Great. Good luck to you. I don't. You want to retire at 30, great. What I will not provide to you is a means to those ends through the stock market. I won't do that. Some may get lucky and end up on $500,000. I don't. That's not enough to retire on. Sorry to break it to you, but I think if you're ill prepared for wealth, you're going to piss it all away anyway. So why don't you just start with your own discipline, get yourself on a program, and get your head right? You'll be so much better that you will. All right. Method to my madness. You guys enjoying yourself? Good. I've got about 15 minutes. All right. He says, absolutely, you need a job. I'm going to try to cruel. What's wrong with retiring at 30? I got news for you, Matt. Okay. I've known you a while. You like investing, and I would presume that you like working. I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. It doesn't really matter. But guys like us don't retire, my friend. We don't. Okay. No way. I'll probably work harder in retirement than I do now. 100%. Because I'm not building a foundation on this program to just throw in the towel and sit on my balcony and drink martinis dry. I'm not going to do that. I will do that after I'm done with a hard day's work and still continue in my workout, continue in my routine, continuing my social media outreach. I'll be much older. All right. But I'll be filming my YouTube videos from my grotto. Yeah, man. Absolutely. Yeah, man. Dreams, man. You got to have them. All right. Have a little fun with me. No, I wish you all the success on your mission to retire at 30. Absolutely. It's the new phase, actually. Get rich really quick, travel the world while you're young and vibrant and want to light the world on fire, and then go to work when you're like 60, 70, 80 years old. If that's what you want to do, man, do it. How do you guys decide when to take profits on your spec? This is a really, really tough question. I was talking to my good friend Bob before the stream tonight. Man alive. I've taken switchback energy. I was able to net $10,000 of trading profit last fall. I did it fairly quick. I'm gonna tell you that those warrants, man, they are crazy. They swing today. It swung 30%. If you were paying attention, 848 was the high on IPOE.WT. So just to give you some context, it finished down about 17% for the day. So I really did sell at the peak. My exit was about 820, so I missed it by about 20 bits, which was $200. When to take profit? When you're in the green, you know? And I think Jason would probably have a little bit more in depth, because I think he has a little bit different, probably a more lucrative strategy about picking those really good ones for the long term. Okay. Which is what I'm doing in Hyliion. Okay. I think Hyliion is a great long-term play. I think they're setting the foundation for everything good. They're going to be fine. If the stock returns to anything of where I think that it's going to be in the next 5 years, that'll be my horse. I'll be rich. You know what I mean? Money won't be an issue anymore. I own 2,200 shares of Hyliion right now. And again, I haven't come out with a Hyliion video for a while. Now's the time to come out with them. Hell, the stock's trading for $16.50. Mark my word. Next year, if the stock's trading at $16.50, it'd be funny. But I find it ironic how nobody's coming out with videos and being like, hey, I don't know, maybe take a look-see. It's not going to be me anymore. I won't do that. As far as that goes, I'm interested in my program, and I don't want to see people make ill-timed investments that don't fit for their own program. Hyliion makes perfect sense for me, guys. Perfect. Freak. Perfect sense. I can't promise that the 15,000 people that are going to watch a Hyliion video, it's going to be good for them as well. And that's just where I draw the line. That's just me personally. All right. But where to take profit? When you're in the green. Unless you're long on the stock. I wish I could give you a better answer on that. That's the golden question. If people had those answers, man, I tell you, we'd be all wiser for it. Financial investors in the house, man. We've been together since the inception, Brent, for sure. Really appreciate all your support, and Happy New Year to you, my friend. It's very cool. Cruising up here. Fantastic. I got my shipmate in the house. Shout out to you, Dan. Nice to see you. Happy New Year to you and your family, man, for sure. Keep your nose to the grindstone. I hope you probably got your vaccination as well. Trying to be an advocate. I was really kind of disappointed in the split on the opinions that were coming through on this thing. A lot of it's kind of propaganda, and I was like, man, come on, guys. Let's get with the program here. If you have the opportunity and the means to do so, Why don't you protect the greatest asset that you have in this life, and that's yourself? All right. That's important. Air fryers are easy to bake, ovens for adults. That's my Viper for me. That's Jamie in the house. It's great to see you. Chuck M says Neo. Um, Perhaps I'm not the foregone conclusion on that. I do apologize. It's made a lot of people a lot of money. That's great. But I do not know enough to comment on Neo. I do apologize. The space is on fire. Great. All the power to you. Just keep the speculation to a minimum. If you want to put your life savings in Neo, I'm not here to tell you one way or the other. I stopped doing that a long time ago. I really did. If you pay attention to my message, you'll probably end up with a very, very defensive portfolio that will get it the hell done over the long term. That's just what you'll end up with. All right. I don't like to rely on luck. I saw a news story that Bill Gates now owns hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland. Yeah, why wouldn't you? Stock and real estate. Guys, that's another method to my madness. I look at real estate on a daily basis, daily. And what's attractive to me are those strategic areas around national parks. Yeah. For me personally, here in Virginia, it's the Shenandoah Valley. So there's a little piece of tidbit of value. You ever heard of the Grand Tetons? Take a look-see. All right. Some of those crazy places, man. There's some beautiful spots out there. And if we could all figure out how to move off the grid and become really independent, we'd be better off for it, because that's really where the value is left in this country. Unless you want to pay $500,000 for an overpriced house here in Virginia Beach, you're welcome to do that. I won't play ball. Thank you. I'm good. I only put so much value on sticks and bricks. That's just my opinion. Very cool. Happy New Year to you and yours, my friend. Very cool. Very cool. Nice to see you, Jay. I don't mean to put you on the spot with some of that SPAC stuff, but I know you spend a lot more time than I do on the deep dives on it, and do a really good job of bringing this stuff to the awareness forefront for us all. So appreciate your efforts. It's awesome. Thanks for Switchback. I mean, that was a $10,000 bill. Hell, just send me a finder's fee. I'll send you the bill. I'm sure you'd probably just accept a beer, because that's just the way you are. Save the rendered fat. I don't know, man. I'm just going to let that go. Got a couple minutes left here, man. I'm going to try to cruise through here. I'm going to try to make sure I didn't miss anything important. Okay. I do usually review this after I go through, and I'm like, how did I not see that? I was busy blah, blah, blah at the mouth, rambling like a crazy idiot. As Ruth. Happy 2021 to you, Ruth. Thank you so much for your involvement, and it's just a pleasure to know you. What can I say? Pay you the greatest comment. These are heroes to me. Jeff seems cool. I get it. Elon seems cool, guys. But when are we going to start to consider ourselves something a little more special than everybody else? Yeah. Everybody's just people. I tell you another little dirty secret, man. YouTube creators, we're all people too. Nothing a whole hell of a lot special about us either, me included. I'm just a regular fella. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I share what I do. Same with all these other folks, man. Some of them garner millions and millions of views. Others, like mine, garner hundreds of views. And I'm okay with that. Why? Because I don't put a whole lot of value into that. I don't. I put value in the people and the impact that it's making on those few hundred people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You rich. Oh, what does it mean to be rich? We'll see. It'd be fun. It'll be fun to see how these projects unfold for us all, guys. Buckle your seatbelt, man. There's a lot of empowered investors out there, and it's funny because my opportunity on the M1 finance opportunity to sit across from people and talk to people about what they've been able to grow over their life and build as far as personal wealth. That's where that opinion comes from. I'm not trying to impugn big portfolios. I'm not. But by nature of opportunity or lack thereof, by nature of certain passions in life that may not be as lucrative, right? Everybody will end up in a spot in their life. And to deem that individual successful or not based on your shallow lens of how much money they have in the bank, I think is indeed very shallow and unfair to a lot of hardworking people in this country. And it's not the $1 million mark that I put that on. Um, you know, I think Matt can make 10 million. I think it's going to be great when he reaches 8 figures. I have 7 figures. Come on, man. That's for the birds, Matt. Come on, let's start the engine. Let's go. Very cool. Nowhere near that right now. Just started it. All right. Eventually, understanding in business will be good to identify startups that shoot up. Takes a lot of time and effort to get there. This might be true. I think with SPACs, I think it's important to note these folks that are in the leadership roles at each of these individual companies. And this again, I don't mean to put JMac on the spot a little bit, but he does a good job of really understanding at least who's at the helm, at least. And I just think that's the one key piece to this whole thing when I look at it. I've looked at the potentials of the Pershing Square pickup, and I don't really like any of them. I don't. And so if you like Bill Ackman and you want to take a stab at what he's gonna put forward, that's gonna cost you, $3,000 for 100 shares of that particular offering, and you don't know what you're investing in. So to each his own a little bit. I'm a big Chamath Palihapitiya fan. I think the guy freaking gets it. I think he's a visionary. I think he's a phenomenal investor. I think his plan for this particular project is right in line with what I would imagine to be in the financial institutions, and I think there's a lot of next gen thinkers that really do buy into that as well. And again, it really does come down to the bank charter, because that's where a lot of the inflows on the project are going to be, is scaling out and writing in the required parameters that need to be considered to carry a bank charter. It's going to be game over if that happens. But I think that is a common theme. Who's at the helm? Who's working this? I'm a big Thomas Healy fan. I think they've made a great move in the CFO pickup. I've already mentioned it in the stream. And we'll see. Well, the pieces are falling into place, man. Now they just need to execute, and they will. All right. Cruise up here through, guys. Rebecca's in the house. Happy 2021 to you, Rebecca. It's great to see you. Sorry you get the shot out at 57 minute. I need to get you at the top of the stream. You guys need to make your way in here at the top of the stream, man. I can give you the shout outs more toward the top. I usually sit here with Bob Wright and All Good before the live stream, which is fantastic. I got to talk to Junior before this one, but I was like, is this going to be the stream where nobody shows up? We usually have a pretty good one, man. That's for sure. Sometime soon, let's get together for a stream. That is a treat to me. That's a treat. It's open door policy on my channel, Jason. I know it's a two-way street. And when you're running these larger YouTube channels, the time gets taken, and you have more of an obligation to continue to put relevant product out there for your viewers. I understand the time is tight. I get it. You balance in a family as well, that type of thing. So, hey, it's all good in the neighborhood. Let's just keep pushing forward, man. That's all we've got to do. Celebrate success, keep pushing forward, keep trudging forward, and hopefully we can get this thing to die down here in 2021 so we can all take a sigh of relief, maybe take a freaking vacation. How does that sound? Jesus, I just booked my vacation for July, and I'm like this, man. I had to cancel last year, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to the Smoky Mountains in May. If anybody wants to go, you're welcome. Tennessee, just north of Gatlinburg, I believe, right? I'll be there if you guys want to come. 1st of May. Yeah. Hang out in the hot tub with me, drink some moonshine. Come on, Junior. Jeez Louise, man, you're tough, man. I'm sitting down there watching Junior. When Junior smiles, I can just see his perfect white teeth. Oh, fantastic, man. We got less than a minute to go, guys. I really appreciate it. I do apologize for not getting to the totality of the questions. Thank you so much, man. I'm going to keep my streak going, even at 86% or 82% after my vaccination. My eyes kind of feel weird, but we did throw down tonight because it's freaking important. We always have to keep pushing this message. This is the constant backbone of the Independent Investor Channel. This live stream is one of my favorite things to do. Stay tuned for the gents. They, of course, will fire up their mothership after I am done here. Matt, you're welcome to drop a link in there. If not, you guys all know the destination, man. Kick over there, have a good time, pour yourself a drink, and let's rock it out, guys. Thank you so much. We will catch you next week on the Independent Investor Channel live stream. Be well, be safe, guys. Thank you so much.